This is the Seven Figure Standard Podcast, hosted by Arash Vasugi and Mikey Stiller, with mindset and strategies to help you break through and create personal freedom.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Seven Figure Standard Podcast. I'm Mikey Stiller, joined with my co-host, Arash Vasugi, and we are coming to you today with a very good lesson all about gratitude. By now, we're in 2023, and most people have some sort of awareness around gratitude or maybe even a gratitude practice. But what we're going to talk about today is gratitude at a deeper level. So, Raj, I'm going to let you just take this and talk about how you do gratitude and why you think gratitude is so important.
Yeah, I want to get right into that. First of all, we got to understand what gratitude is. Gratitude is the vibration of abundance. And I want everybody to think about this. Think of something you're grateful for right now, something you're really grateful for. And you can never think about what you don't want and be in gratitude at the same time. See, gratitude, if you look at the people who are making it happen, people who literally what they touch turns into gold, you will find out a common denominator that they're very grateful people. And many people are kept in poverty by their lack of gratitude. They're focusing on what's wrong. They're focusing on what's missing. It's a very common thing. Gratitude will activate you feeling good all the time. Now, we have to deliberately practice it. And I remember, I can go back years, when I was first starting to learn this information, and I kept being impressed. Gratitude is so important. Gratitude's so important. And I would write a list of 10 things I was grateful for, but they were more like checking a box. I'm grateful for my hair. I'm grateful for the trees. I'm grateful. But then I realized I was just doing it to check a box, and checking a box isn't going to create anything. So you asked me a question, well, how do I practice it? Number one, I'm very deliberate with it. And it's about what I'm really grateful for. So I'll make a list. And then everything that I say that I'm grateful for, let's say I say I'm grateful for my wife. Then I'll ask the question, why am I grateful for her? Then I get in the emotion of gratitude. I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful for my dogs. And I'm always asking why, and I always answer that question. Now I'm in the vibration of it. I'm not just checking a box. And that's how, and we want to be, that's how I practice it, but we want to be deliberate with gratitude.
Raj, I used to do the same thing, actually. I remember I used to have a notebook that would have numbers 1 through 10 on it. And more times than not, 1 through 10 would say the same thing, right? It would say, I'm grateful for my husband. I'm grateful for Frankie and Sienna. And I would name different people and a few things, but there was really no detail to it. And I don't know what everybody's beliefs are, or religious beliefs are, but I heard a priest say, gratitude opens the gates to heaven. And this transformed my relationship with gratitude when he said, yes, because what it means is gratitude opens the gates to abundance. And it changed the way that I do gratitude, though, because I was what am I actually thankful for, right? So instead of just writing my daughter's name, I might be like, I'm grateful for her personality and the sweet note that she made me today, or something specific. But I would love to know how you connect gratitude with abundance and the necessity to be specific.
Well, you want to be first of all, gratitude is abundance. And that's what activates abundance in our life. See, at any moment we could change like this, like a snap of the finger, you could change your destiny at any moment. I really see, the moment you allow your mind to dwell on what's missing, something that's wrong, what happens is you lose ground right away towards anything in your life, towards the good that's possible. I think I've shared the story on the podcast. I may not have, but one day I was walking my dogs and I'm going around, and I went to a place around my house that I'd never been on the street. And I look up, and the backyard is a full football field in their backyard with lights. And I said, that is abundance. That is somebody who's aware. And that is somebody, and I looked up and looked at it from I like looking for abundance that has nothing to do with me. Like I like looking around in nature, you'll find abundance. And the more you focus on abundance, the more it's going to keep coming in your mind, because we have in our mind what's called the reticular activating center, which is like our personal Google. It's what we're focused on most of the time. Like, Mike, think about it. When your first child, you were pregnant for the first time, you probably, I already know this, I don't even have to ask you because this is how it works. All of a sudden you are aware of all these pregnant women everywhere. That's the reticular activating center. See, if we're focused on the good, what we're grateful for, we're going to find more to be grateful for. And we want to be great receivers too. I think gratitude's twofold. It's not about getting, it's about raising our awareness and being more appreciative to what we have. Now, I'll turn this a bit for you, that people are going to look at it from a different point. Like, I'm just as grateful for my failures, because those failures make me aware of where I need to improve. I'm grateful for the adversities because I know the adversities are temporary, but they make me grow. So it's not just grateful about what I can get. I mean, will your receiving increase exponentially when you deliberately practice it? Absolutely. But it can help you so much. And if you forget to do something, and you say, okay, where was my mind? I'm grateful that it showed up. I'm grateful for my insecurities. Be grateful for them, because they're giving you a gift of where you can improve. Be grateful for being limited for a moment, because to really expand yourself, the reason we want to expand, because we're realizing we're limited. But if we're grateful for those lessons, then we're going to do something about them.
Okay, I love this. And you're actually one step ahead of me, because you kind of went where I was just about to go with the next question, but from a different angle. So I was going to talk to you about, how do we use our higher faculties to enhance gratitude? And you just talked about perspective, right? A lot of people would look at a failure not through gratitude, maybe through shame or, pressure. But you look at it through gratitude, and it's just using your perspective to your benefit, really. And one of the examples that I was going to give is, sometimes we let the outside circumstances get us in a state of ungratitude, right? Feeling frustrated, feeling different emotions, when if we look at them and think somebody else has a lot worse scenario, it can help us feel more gratitude. But I'd like to hear you talk about, how do we use the higher faculties to enhance our gratitude practice?
Well, if we look at, first of all, two of them, if we look at perception, and we look at reasoning. Perception is how we're seeing the world. It's not as it is, it's how we're seeing it through our lenses, through our programs. So imagine if you went on a 30-day sprint and all you did was focus on the good in everything for 30 days. You just look for the good in everything. You focused on it, though. You say, that's good. And that's using your perception. So you're changing it to bulletproof it in your favor. Then I'll do another one, the will. The will is our ability to think. So we can think however we want about a circumstance, about a situation. And imagine that you mixed your reasoning with gratitude. With everything that happened, you attach gratitude towards it. Where was the good in that? See, you're using both. So right there, I could give it to you. You could use your imagination, because like Einstein said, logic takes us from A to B. Imagination takes us everywhere. Be grateful for your imagination. You're going to start using it more. So you want to start being grateful for the little things. I want to really impress this on you. Gratitude is not about getting. The getting is a natural process of being grateful, but it's more about being present in the moment. When we're grateful, we're present in the moment. So if I said to you, I want everybody right now to think about the first thing that pops in their mind of what they're grateful for the most right now in this moment, something you're really grateful for. You're going to pick that up. That's true gratitude. It's not forced. It's not faking it. It's really what you're grateful for. I mean, I used to tell our mentor, I said, I don't get as much about writing them down. And he goes, tell me why. I said, it's an intellectual exercise. And he said, I understand what you're saying. He said, can I challenge your thinking? I said, yes. He said, what does writing do? And him and I had been together for a while, so we had these type of conversations. I said, it creates feelings. He goes, what does feelings create? I said, it creates actions. He said, what does actions create? I said, creates results. And he said, so you could see there's a benefit. I said, yes, but I'm not connected to it. He said, okay, well, I want you to think, how can you connect with it? And I said, this is when I came up with the why. And I said, what if I write it out? I'm going to try this. And I told him this, I'm going to try this. I'm going to continue writing it out. But every time I write it out, I'm going to say why to each one. He says, I guarantee you it'll create the connection. And that's what it did. You know, I don't want anyone just to do something to do it. I want it to create an emotional impact. I want it to be a feeling, because feeling is where everything is created. And gratitude, practiced properly, is going to create that feeling.
Raj, I really love that we're doing this episode directly after attitude, because I think developing an attitude of gratitude is the ultimate goal, right? You embody gratitude, and it's not something that you have to think about or list out or practice, but I think it starts with daily practice. So let's say that you're just getting into wanting to be more grateful and wanting to have more gratitude in your life. Maybe it starts with a daily practice, right? It starts with, okay, every single morning I'm going to get up and I'm going to do gratitude. And then I'm going to challenge myself to find more gratitude in my life. And then suddenly you find yourself in a state of gratitude or with an attitude of gratitude. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, gratitude is an attitude, just like everything else is. It is one of the highest attitude. I think faith is the highest attitude we have. Mm-hmm. But I think gratitude is right there, because you're going to draw more to you. See, if gratitude, I want everyone to get this. If gratitude is strong and constant, the reaction in terms of result is going to be strong and constant. It's going to keep flowing. You know what cuts off the flow? What's wrong? What's missing? So when we do that, you know what we're doing? We're telling our creator, I'm not grateful for what you've given me, you know? And that's where we cut off that. We literally, it's like a hose, and we're stepping on that hose. We cut off the flow of the good we desire. And gratitude, deliberately practiced, is much different than just gratitude whenever, you know, and all you have to do is say 2 words. Even if you just say thank you, and it doesn't have to be for anything. It's just 2 words, thank you, and you consistently practice thank you, it's going to change your world.
So incredibly powerful. Okay, and how can someone, life happens, right? There's going to be frustrations. There's going to be things that throw you off track or get you frustrated or angry or ungrateful. What do you do in that moment?
Well, you can't, first of all, if you're stuck, I will tell you right now, life does happen. There's things you get annoyed with. Somebody might have cut you off. A deal didn't go through that you were expecting to go through, whatever it was. What I want you to do is understand the minute you let it go and get into gratitude, you're going to draw so much more good to you. Now, that takes a certain level of discipline and awareness. But, for me, what is the key characteristics of somebody living a world-class life, being world-class at what they do? It's confidence and awareness. Awareness is connected to gratitude. An aware person is grateful no matter what. A true professional is grateful no matter what. And this isn't fake gratefulness. It's real gratefulness. We want to be grateful for the little things. There's so many little things that people take for granted. I will tell you, health is the biggest one. Most people don't focus on their health until something happens. I remember years ago, I had something going on with my throat. And I was like, I didn't realize it. And I had to do this surgery. It was a minor surgery, but we didn't know what it was at the time. And I said to myself, I got to start living. And this was probably, 6-7 years ago. And that had such an effect on me that I got grateful for the little things, and I realized I was taking things too serious, but I was grateful because I needed that tap on the shoulder to slow down and put some priority on what I wasn't putting priority on. And, somebody who's listening to this will relate to this. It's those little things that, if it is taken away, will create a big obstacle in our life. and gratitude will free you up.
I love that perspective so much. Okay, let's get into an exercise that people can do, whether it's a daily practice or whatever you think would be most impactful to implement gratitude into their life.
Well, number one, focus on 10 things that you're grateful for. I'm going to give you guys 2 ways to do this, okay? Focus on 10 things you're really grateful for and ask yourself why you're grateful for it. That's number one. Now, I'm going to switch it a different gear. If you're dealing with self-worth issues, if you're wanting to build up your confidence, I want you to do it with 10 things you're grateful for about yourself. This will absolutely turn the key into worthiness. And I mean what you really feel. Like I'm grateful for my big heart. I'm grateful for my compassion. Why am I grateful for my compassion? I'm grateful for my smile. Why am I grateful? And I know we have people out there who practice shaming themselves. It's been passed down generation from generation. This is going to stop the shame. This is going to create the worthiness. See, gratitude can be used in so many different areas. If I'm working with a client who has self-worth challenges, and this is the first thing I have them do, and in 30 days of actually deliberately doing this, and in the beginning, the first few days is hard. They do not want to look at what's good in them because they've been conditioned to look at what's wrong. And that's why I want everyone to be able to look in the mirror, look at themselves and say, I really love you. I'm grateful for you. I want you to be able to go in the mirror at the end of the night and say, I did my best. I'm grateful for what I did today. So there's 2 ways you can practice it. I'll let everybody choose how they want to do it.
Raj, I love that so much. I also, I don't even know how long we've been recording. I usually write down the time right whenever we start, and I didn't today. So I'm guessing it's been about 20 minutes, but it's a short episode. I think this is one of the most important episodes that we've recorded so far. I think everyone should go back and listen to this at least twice. It's so good. Any final words before we wrap up today's podcast?
Yeah, I want to talk to the people who are going through adversity right now. I want you to understand you're stronger than your adversity, and gratitude is your best friend here. Gratitude will get you shifting instead of what's wrong. I want the people who are going through this adversity, and some of them may be very high, some of them may be medium, some of them may be low. But I want you to think of, go help somebody solve a greater problem than you have. And I promise you, if you connect and put all this bombardment of attention on gratitude, your adversity is going to change, and it's going to change quickly. But don't just look for what you can get. For all of us, this is for everyone. I want you to look for the good in your successes. I want you to be grateful for your successes. I want you to be grateful for your failures. I want you to be grateful for the struggles. I want you to be grateful for knocking out your morning routine. I want you to be grateful for the little things and watch the big things that'll start showing up in your life.
Absolutely. Raj, thank you so much. I hope all of you have enjoyed this episode on gratitude. Go ahead and leave us a rating, review, and share this with your friends and family. And we'll see you next week for another episode on the 7-Figure Standard. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for listening to this episode of 7-Figure Standard. We hope you found the insights and strategies helpful on your journey to success. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a rating and review on your favorite podcast platform to help us reach more people like you. To learn more about Arash and Mikey and how Voss Coach & Co. can help you achieve your goals and reach new levels of success, visit vosscoachandco.com. Thank you again for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode of 7-Figure Standard.